There is only one way to open this episode, and that is Wakanda Forever. Alright, so this is going to be a quick one, like around 10 minutes long. Why? Because it's going to be a more serious episode, so, not everyone likes serious. We're usually a fun channel. But the vlog is me airing out what's in my mind. So, therapy. So here we go. Chadwick Boseman has to be the first thing to talk about. He died last night. When I read he died, like the tweet came out, like, I'm like, oh, let's check Twitter, and it comes out like, it was like 2 minutes ago, Chadwick Boseman's dead, and I'm like, I straight up gasped, didn't know gasping was real, I thought that was just fake, gasped. And I looked and looked, and I was hoping it was it was a lie. I was hoping it was a straight up lie. It gets confirmed as you're going down the line on that. And I just could not think. I was frozen. Chadwick Boseman is an amazing actor. And he's played so many serious parts, and just T'Challa alone is a really good character, but he's played some real figures as well. He's Thurgood Marshall, he's played Jackie Robinson, he's played James Brown, he's done a great amount of work. He's played very serious ones like Defy Bloods and things like that. 21 Bridges, he was the only good part of that. He has been an amazing actor. He was 43 when he died. I always think he's so much younger than he was. I thought he was younger than me. I honestly thought he was younger than I, but he was not. 43. I'm 10 years behind him. He died of colon cancer. He was diagnosed in 2016, stage 3. So that's pretty young to get it, because they used to recommend getting checked for colon cancer at 50. And then it became 40, and now it's going to become 30, from what I can tell. So I better call my doctor Monday. He was doing Black Panther while dealing with cancer. He had an amazing physique while dealing with cancer. That just shows like how healthy you can be, and cancer can still take you out. Because people who are really healthy and athletic, they think they're invincible. No, anything can happen, and that's what happened. It's very unfortunate. He was a man so full of life. I watched so many behind-the-scenes things with him. I was a big fan. I really enjoyed his stuff, and he's gone. Like, there's those actors, when they die early, you're just like, they had so much more ahead of them, and they were snuffed out so early. And it gets really frustrating when you think about how many great people have died young, and how many horrible people die old. Like, they're good, like Strom Thurmond, Jesus Christ. There are some monstrous people who live to like 90 or 100 that are absolute monsters, and they didn't die. While these bright lights die early. And it's not like Chadwick Boseman was like doing drugs or any of this stuff. It was cancer that took him out. He wasn't doing some like crazy lifestyle. He was just this great figure for people, and he's dead. Why is T'Challa important? Why is Black Panther important? Because how many role models does the black community have? How many do they have? They have to deal with these historical figures, like he's just Thurgood Marshall. It's proof that you could be a justice. He was Jackie Robinson, the first black baseball player, showing that you could get into sports. He played James Brown, who made a huge difference in music. Like, he played role models, and he became a role model. It's unfortunate he's gone. T'Challa's important because how many also just superheroes do black people have? They have Black Panther and Spider-Man. And this is even before Miles Morales, by the way. Spider-Man has been huge in the black community forever because he's fully dressed. You have no idea what his skin color is. So a black man or woman could dress up as Spider-Man. That is the special thing about Spider-Man. Anyone can be behind the mask. That's the whole thing there. Black Panther gave him another person to dress up as, which is great. And it's not just him, it's the other characters in there too. Like, who doesn't want to dress up like Okoye? She's so cool. And dress up like Shuri. And dress up like, oh my god, I forgot his name all of a sudden. He's my favorite character. The leader of the Jabari tribe. He's my favorite guy, and I forgot him. Who doesn't want to dress up like those dudes? Or just like the blue dudes, or just the green ones. Like, there's just so many good outfits in that movie. It gives people more things they can dress up as. That's so cool. It gives them these great characters. These great fictional characters. Because, yeah, they have to keep holding on to these real people. They don't have fictional characters like the other races do. And I look forward to seeing what Marvel does with Black Panther. I'm sure they'll do justice and other things. Right now, the next phase can be more Asian representation, but, good for me. So going from there, I want to talk about racism for 5 minutes. That's another reason why, because no one wants to talk about racism, especially if you're white. White people hate talking about racism because it's usually directed at them, and I feel bad for that. Of course I do, but at the same time, there's plenty of shitty white people. The thing is, though, there's shitty every race. There's shitty everything. You go to Asia, oh my god, it is bad when it comes to Asian racism towards each other. Woo, it's not good. It's bad. It's bad. There is racism all over the damn place. What I take issue right now is, because watching DNC and the RNC, the belief that racism isn't a thing in America. That is the crazy thing. And I take issue because, of course, I have to take issue with her, Nikki Haley, because she specifically said there's no racism in America. And then, right after, she talks about discrimination, growing up with discrimination. Oh, I'm sorry, what? Those who don't know, because she white passes so very well, and not a lot of people actually knew, she's Indian. Nikki Haley is Nimrata Nikki Radawa. I'm pronouncing that last name very badly, my bad. She married a man and got the last name Haley. That's what happened there. So, alright, lady who's afraid to use your first name. Okay. Alright. Nimrata's a cool name. I like that name, but apparently she didn't think it was a good name. Yeah, also you couldn't have that name and be a Republican. There's no way that's going to work out. Nah. She's already white passing. She had to go Nikki. I get the cynicism there. I get why she did it. You can't say, though, that there's no racism in America when you do that crap. You just can't do that. And that is a frustrating difference between the right and the left, is both sides, obviously, there's racism everywhere. But the left, there's a lot more calling each other on their bullshit with racism, I feel. And because of that, there's a lot of fractures in the Democratic side of things. While the Republican side of things are more unified for the most part, besides, what Trump has done with Trumpism and all that, but even before him, they were more unified and way more racist and obvious about it. They would say one thing and do another, and they're just the Republicans just accept that they're racist and that they're hypocrites, but they run on that. They run on the fact that they can boldface lie and the fact that their side will still run with them. And that's a big difference between the two sides, is the left cares about factual for the most part, but fake news has really affected them, while the right never gave a crap about fake news. They really never have. And that is an obvious difference there. And you can go all the way back to yellow journalism and stuff like that, where that has still been the same case. It's very unfortunate. It's extremely unfortunate how the two parties work, because I'd rather everything run on the truth, but we just don't have that cleanness to it. And thinking about things, I'm thinking about, of course, last week with come on, this is the second take and I forgot his name this time. Jason Blake, or is it Jake Blake? No, it's Jason Blake. It can't be a rhyme. Jason Blake got shot last week, 7 times in the back. What the fudge? We see the footage. What the fudge? Are you kidding me? If they thought they needed to shoot him, they should have tackled him before he got to the damn car. I can't believe they resorted to shooting him in the back 7 damn times. You gotta be kidding me with that. It doesn't matter what his record is before that instance. He got shot 7 times in the back when that situation never needed to go that far. A couple days later, you got Kyle Rittenhouse. That 17-year-old with a weapon they shouldn't even own was 1 year away of being someone who could own that weapon and have a badge and it'd be okay. That's the scary thing. 1 more year, he'd be in a blue outfit and he'd be okay to kill people. That is a scary thought. Really it is. And he's already the poster boy for neo-Nazis and white supremacists already. He's the poster boy now. And that worries me a lot, because of course it should. And it gives me the questions like, when does someone become a monster? When does someone become someone you cannot do anything with? You cannot converse with? Because I do think, with Twitter and everything, I think we jump down each other's throats a little too early. There are people, like obviously white supremacists and neo-Nazis, or just people who are super anti-LGBT and things like that, where they're just so anti-you, you should not engage with them at all. There are those people. But there are people who are just on the smaller levels, where they disagree on things, and you jump down their throat, and put them to be like these bigger things when they're not those bigger things, and you make a bigger enemy out of that person. I feel like we're just not prepared for Twitter and Facebook and all that, and because we're just not used to dealing with people on the other side of the screen and seeing them as human, and it just makes things worse. I think we are making things worse for ourselves as a people. But there are the rare exceptions of people who can talk to people who do not believe they should exist. You have Daryl Davis, the black man who has converted over 200 Klansmen out of the Klan. You have people who are capable of pulling off something that just feels like a miracle. Because white supremacists is like, we're the best, black people shouldn't be here. And same thing for the other races. And this man shows them, Daryl Davis shows them that he's just a regular human being, just like they are. They're just people. And that's what's important, that they're just people doing things. That's it. Just the difference is the color of their skin. That's it. And with that, he convinces them to leave the Klan. Because they realize these are just people. These aren't what I was told. These aren't what I heard. They're just people. They're not animals. That is an awful thing about rhetoric when it comes to some racism thing, is just treating the other races as animals. Very not good. And Daryl Davis is a saint for being able to pull that off 200 times already. There's so much more I could say about racism. I just take so much chagrin with the belief that racism is not a thing in America, when the racist vote is extremely important for the Republicans. It's a very important vote for the Republicans. And it's not like the left are guiltless either. There are plenty of racists on the left as well, but they're different kinds of racists. And like you have on the right and the left, there are varying degrees of racist and different racist ideologies. And then, of course, you have people who are just not racist. They just see everyone as people. Those are people. Those are real people. It does get very patronizing when someone says they're colorblind, like, to race. It's like, okay, sure, okay, whatever. But there are real people who are just like, everyone's just people. That's it. And you judge someone by who they are, not by where they come from, kind of thing. Those people exist, and they're great. I've dealt with racism even in San Diego. It's a very much a melting pot place. You've got all the races down here. You've got so many different ethnicities. You got everything down here. You've got every part of Africa here. You've got every part of Asia here. You got every part of Europe here. You've got everything here. Every race is here in some form, in some place in San Diego. Their food's here. They got communities here. It's really cool. It's great when everyone's getting along and things go well, but sometimes arguments come out and racism comes out of that as well, which is not the best. No place is perfect. I think that's the best way to put it. Like, San Diego is a good melting pot, but it still has its racial issues. Like, we're right next to the border, so of course we got people who have the border politics and all that stuff. So I've gone 12, 13 minutes. That's long enough there. So that is the vlog. There's so much more that could be said about racism. Of course, I'm sure I might have painted things a little too broad. And in a way, it has to be, because if you want to get deep into it, it has to be a longer video. And no one wants to sit here and listen to me drone on about racism. We all deal with racism. That's the other thing. Everyone here in America, we know racism's still a thing. We're not crazy enough to think it's not. And yeah, that's it. So thanks for coming by. I had fun. Hope you have fun watching. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Having fun. Thanks for coming by, and see you next time. I think I said thanks for coming by 2 times now. See you.